you doing, my friends? Well, it seems like a long time. I'm not tying my soul to the downward grind.
Hey, and welcome in again to another episode of Tony Talks Trash About Music. And I'm here with our great friend of the program, Dino, for us to try to put a lid on some of this terrible three stuff that we have. We were
Yeah.
talking today about Iggy Pop, and we're going to be ranking our top 10 Iggy Pop solo songs from his solo records. Dino, you were starting to talk to me before we got this thing started about this. What were you going to say?
Yeah, I was real prejudiced on this list, especially in my top six. A lot of albums out there, but just there's so many that have just always been at the top, and that'll never change. You know,
Yeah,
there's just so many that'll be there. So we're gonna dive into the Jimmy Osterberg top
yeah,
10, Mr.
yeah.
James Osterberg.
I mean, let's be. I think if we're being fair, I think about the old three, he would at least be as dynamic of a performer as either of them. Bowie, you could say, arguably was not.
Oh.
Lou clearly is the stiffest of the three as far as his on stage antics, other than the time when he had his hair in checkerboards and doing all the all the
Well,
weird the heroin and all that stuff. But
Well, they collaborated, on the first couple. I mean, you can hear. I was listening to some. You can hear Bowie on harmonies and you can hear Bowie on those. I mean, it's him. You know what I
no,
mean?
yeah,
When you're listening to that back, you go, that's Bowie. That's Bowie on that backing track.
yeah, you're talking
And
about these Iggy records really were. I mean, that band was that band with the Sales Brothers and Bowie on keyboards. That was a pretty durable. He got a shitload
oh,
of production out of
did
that
you
battle.
did you
Sure.
ever see the Dinah Shore program? when
Yes,
when Iggy and Bowie were on Dinah Shore, and Dinah and I gotta give her credit. She's the only one that ever she had the stones to bring them on in the middle of the afternoon.
she
The
did.
touring band
I
with
think she
Bowie on
did.
keyboards.
I think Husker Du was on her in her
It was
waning
amazing, man.
her
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, she was pretty. You ever see the Molly Meldrum when he was down to the Australian when he's like all like you can tell he's amped up on some kind of amphetamine. He's like trying to.
Yeah.
He's so weird, and he's trying to like semi flirt with him, but at the same time he's like fucking with him because he's
Oh yeah.
little. He's putting little snide jabs in that you can hardly tell that they're jabs. It's awesome, man. So that's whatever happens to Lou and Iggy when they go down under, man. They all get weird, man.
They
There's
have
been a lot.
fun. Yeah. And they love them down there.
Oh yeah, they
Yeah.
do.
When I was in Australia, one of the first things I bought was an Australian. I was in Sydney, and I bought an Australian Iggy compilation that
Oh
it
wow.
was on Australian CBS or whatever it was, and I still have it. I think somewhere, but I bought it for like $5 American, brand new. I was like, I'm picking it up because
Well,
I had a car with a CD player in it, so I was rolling around and listening to Iggy in the middle of the city. So it
that's
was,
right. Did he have his own? It's interesting because when I think about him, I think he along with the Fall and Beefheart must be like some of the most heavily bootlegged
yeah,
not give a shit. You see bootlegs everywhere of like the Stooges and stuff. They just got bootlegged to death at these like shows in the clubs in New York and stuff. And
right.
they didn't make any money from them. I don't.
No, no, not at all.
Weird. It's maybe like shows the weakness of their legal team or something. But it seems like they pick on the same two or three or four people, and you keep seeing these things come out like Beefheart. All these Beefheart
Yeah,
things. Parts one that there's just tons of this live, shittily recorded stuff too. A lot of it. But anyway, yeah, man, that's not a way to start this. We're kind of getting off track a little bit, but
okay,
we're Iggy songs tonight, and even though he may not be measure up in my mind compositionally some of these, there's still 10 fantastic songs that I was able to find that I really love and really like I say, like you said at the beginning, Dino, I think they're from a pretty narrow point of view from me, at
right,
least as far as what I prefer, but
right,
I'm certainly not going to pick my idea of fun.
right, right.
That,
No, I get you. I get you. I get you.
that's the each.
I'm going to start off with 10.
Yes, sir.
Number 10 from the album Brick by Brick, 1990. It's the right off the bat, first track, Home.
Mm,
I saw that tour, and it was, my God, that was a young, tight, brash. If I think I sent you the set list of that show in Berkeley,
yeah.
and my God, I forgot how much they mined the Stooges that night.
Oh, no.
That was a huge Stooges tour, and that band was picked, I think, for that. Very young, very aggressive, very loud band. But Home, that opening track is my number
Yeah.
10,
I like it, man. I like it. I
Brick by
like
Brick.
it. I'm going to go a different direction on mine on number 10, and I'm going to pluck from that kind of cheat and pluck from that Williamson pop record, Kill City.
Oh,
Second song on the album called Sell Your Love. I've always liked the song because it kind
oh
of,
yeah,
there's kind of like an ennui in the song that's like almost like you're just accepting that you're living in this squalor in this situation where it's like a wild,
right.
you know, where the wild party's coming from, and you know your people fucking drugs and
Yeah,
people kill each other, and some people, you know, you can, it's just equal amount paranoia. So yeah, there's something about that record, and you mentioned that too. Something about that Kill City record that I think, in a way, after they were uh, kind of strung out beyond belief after Raw Power, kind of was a kind of a stepping stone to when they got over to the Berlin stuff, and you know, I think it was at least something to hold on to, that he could still make quality work during that, because there's a lot of good songs on that.
and some people consider that a Stooges album. You
Uh,
know, I mean they go, well, this is a Stooges album. I'm like, yeah. I mean, you could go either way on it. You know, really.
yeah, if I would probably put it number four, if I did, I'd put it ahead of Metallic KO probably if I would.
Oh
I'd have,
yeah. Oh,
yeah,
easily,
I've seen,
easily.
yeah, it's got some good stuff. I just wish it was produced a little bit better. That's the only thing.
Yeah, it's it almost sounds like it was done on a cassette with a 4 track. You
Yeah, in somebody's garage somewhere for like 15.
know. Sometimes, you know, that's some of the best stuff is lo-fi, you know.
That's true. That's true. How many times you'd make a demo and then you make the record
And then
itself,
that's it.
and
Yeah.
it loses the whole
Or the
spirit.
song never makes it to the album. And you're like, "Damn, that was a good song. I'm surprised it never got re-recorded when they went into the studio."
That's why I'm always reluctant, you know, even with doing my stuff, to give anybody like the original thing, because a lot of times when the final go, boy, I don't think it's as good as the red. I'm like, all that work, and then you're like, but
Yeah.
that's what you hear first. Two people tend to like what they hear first. They get used to, they dig it, so they
Oh yeah.
flaws it. But anyway, you're number nine, brother.
Number 9 from the album Party. And
Wow.
that is Pumping for Jill, actually. I went back, let's do it.
What
And
about that?
I love the riff. I love, and when he sings like that, and that almost that talky, it's basically just narrating the song, you know. He's singing, but he's not singing, you know, and he's got that deep voice, you know.
I remember
And
how I remember when we saw that show at the Bayou on that tour, how into it he was. He said, "This is you know, this is our new that one in Houston. Those are the two songs that he
Houston
really
is hot. Yeah, Houston is
got.
hot tonight. And that was the Soldier tour. That
Yeah,
was the
what?
one
Okay,
with Ivan
that's
Kral, but
that's
he played music from that whole period that night.
that's great.
And I got what I wanted, which was, you know, a lot of things from New Values, which I was really excited about.
It's fantastic, man. Yeah, good choice. Good choice. I didn't think of that one. My number nine is going to be one that my number nine, you could call it kind of a shared song.
Yeah.
Uh, there was a song on David Bowie record Lodger called Red Money that is exactly the same freaking song as on the Iggy record called
Right.
Sister and Sister Midnight. It's the
Sister
same.
Midnight. Absolutely.
It's my favorite. Either way you go with it, I like it. I like it's to me. It's kind of after all the thing, and I don't know if it's. I never really was involved in it in a you know, where you listen to it through a trip or you listen to it through something like that.
Yeah.
But I kind of get the feeling that it's almost programmed the way it's programmed to kind of the same way the passengers kind of programmed to kind of carry along a certain way. It has a certain wind down to it, and I think Red Money does too. And it's kind of a comforting, even though it talks of some
Yeah.
paranoid stuff and some things. I think the beat and the way the sleuthing. I think it's really an innovative thing that a lot of people miss. I think it's got a good undercurrent of the way you use a disco beat, but they do it in a very comforting way.
Right.
I always liked it. So that's my number 9, Sister Midnight.
Sister Midnight at 9. At 8, To the Soldier album itself.
Oh,
Let's Play It Safe.
wow.
Yeah, at number 8.
Now that's one I never even thought of.
We got
Wow.
that live, from what I remember, and
Yeah,
it was really good live.
that's I remember it live. I remember
What
the
do we
song.
have in common? Let's play it safe.
That's great, man. That's great. You must really like that. See, you're like me in that sometimes the records you like best are not the ones that everybody or the
No,
same.
I don't like all the hits, I never, if you just like we were when we were talking about Lou and with
Yeah,
Transformer, you never saw Sweet Jane,
yeah,
you didn't see the hits.
right.
Walk on the Wild Side, uh,
Oh yeah, well that's an
not that
obvious.
I didn't like them, I just heard them
Me
3 or
too.
4,000 times.
Well, and that's another subject I wanted to tell you
And there
about.
was so much other stuff that was so good on those
Yeah.
albums.
We're gonna do a series later where we do 10 records that are overrated, 10 underrated. But I also want to do 5 records that I never have to hear again in my life. And it's not that you don't like the records; it's just that they've been played so much; they're already in your body, in your
Right.
molecule, in your skin. There's nothing more you can pick up from it from listening to it. So
Right.
there's no utility in listening to it. It's not going to diminish or anything. You've already got it
Ex-
all. You've absorbed it.
exactly. Not going
So
to help.
yeah, there's like what? Well, I'll give one away. One of mine's going to be Dark Side of the Moon, obviously. But
Oh, that's been on my list since
yeah,
that's number 1 probably. Might be number 2. I don't
I'd probably be number 1 with everybody else.
know.
Let let me get the my number
8.
8. I'm talking about that Molly, whatever that show was down. The song that was played live on Australian television from New Values. I'm bored. That's
Bored. I'm bored. That's another one. It's hard to leave off, man.
I love that guitar part of Williamson. I just
Dan.
the guitar work. It's
That
fantastic.
album is just
Yeah.
front to back, sideways. Every track's a like I like to say, all thriller, no filler
Yeah,
on that
and you
album.
know what? And you notice on that record, I know maybe not from a perform, but from a perspective of somebody who
Yeah.
doesn't, there's hardly any effects on that record. That record,
No, no.
fact, not a lot of reverb, straight like they're playing in your freaking living room,
I
and it just
love the production on that album.
man knocks you out, man. No,
It's
no
a
frill. I love
it's
it.
great production
It is
on
direct,
that album.
man, direct. I loved it. I love that record. Those records were great. And Williamson is a genius. If that's one that to
Yeah.
me, a thing that about him, I love his playing too, but his production on that would be right
Yeah,
up.
and it kind of reminds me a little bit of some of the Steve Albini productions
Oh
where
yeah,
he
later.
would just set up and go, have at it.
That's right.
That's it. I'm not the producer. I'm
Yeah,
just the engineer.
yeah. I'm
You
here to
I've
humor.
got everything the way it's supposed to sound, and then we're done. Just like that Albini version of Cheap Tricks in Color. That
I have.
that thing that thing blows the Tom Werman epic production. If you ever hear that straight through,
I
that's
will.
what the album should have sounded like.
It's a shame I don't have a CD player in the car. We can listen to it going out to Morgantown tomorrow, but I don't.
It's phenomenal. It really
I'll
is.
have to get it. I'll have to get that. But anyway, that's my number 8. Is I'm bored. I'm the chairman of the board.
Okay. From New Values.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's from New Values, right?
Yes, sir.
So we're sticking with New Values at my
Well,
7, and we're going with Girls. They're all
fantastic.
over the world.
I like David Johansen's song "Girls" too. David
Yeah,
Johansen.
I do. I do. I like it. Yeah, I definitely do.
Oh man, it's great.
Girls from New Values.
It's really great, man. Really great. Great pick, man. Great pick. That's one that just missed mine. That was right
That's
outside.
what I mean. There's a couple of those albums you could go 6 songs off each album.
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
you're probably not going to get my number 7. My number 7 is one of those. Every once in a while, like what I consider the sick aesthetic, like that shit in like Miles Davis on the corner.
Right,
There's like some sort of sadistic thing to it, and
right.
that fits in my number seven. Get up and get out. I love the lyrics. I
That
love the
is
way
a good, yeah,
of the way that obviously they just took guitar off the song, and so you're stuck with this weird like roller skate rink done, and Barry Andrews done playing this
yeah,
roller rink like almost go cross between roller skating rink and like Vince Price horror movie, and he's going telling you
yeah.
people, have you heard the word? I mean, it's just there's nothing like it, man.
Get
I
up
just
and get
I
out.
think the way he goes, she got up, just the way he pauses, she got up and got
And got
out.
out.
Love the way the rhythmic thing on. I know musically it's almost horrible, but I love it. It's one of my favorite. It's my favorite thing on that record. So, but anyway, I just love the way.
It's
So
and
eight
let
eight.
them know what record that's from. That's
That's from Soldier.
Soldier. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I. Yeah, and I look, and I was on the fence about that one. You know,
yeah.
from
So
Soldier.
it's one of the lower ones. I agree. I
But it
agree. But
no,
there's
I
still
mean it was there's a lot of good songs there. I don't not the entire album, but there's there's things like Loco Mosquito and things like that. But there's
yeah.
also some really good and
I
that band was
yeah. What
fantastic.
I'm a
I'm a
conservative.
conservative.
That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah, he was fun. We were, when I think back on it now, we were pretty. I mean, when you look across a map of people, we were pretty faithful to Iggy in a period of time where we were still watching, going to Iggy shows and buying Iggy records when I think
Oh
probably,
yeah, and that was late '70s, very early '80s. I think that Soldier tour was '80,
yeah, we
I
were still
believe.
with it. And a lot of people had moved on, I guess.
But New Values came out right before that, and that was phenomenal. That was a
It was,
classic.
I agree.
That's an Iggy Pop classic. That's
It
top
is.
three across the board.
I agree with you, man. I agree. It's a good record, man. Anyway, we're on to your
So
number
no,
six.
number 6,
Yeah.
number 6. I've split here. I had to switch it out. My 6 is Sister Midnight from the Idiot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we've
That's,
talked about it, and it's I love the way they've got his vocals mixed down in that
yeah.
mix, and it
Yeah.
sounds like he's holding his mic out about 3 feet,
Yeah.
or he's singing
Probably.
through a
Probably.
can, you
I
know.
think, but yeah, yeah, you create the space. You either do it by moving away from the mic or mixing something like that, or artificially creating it in the deep.
Yeah,
Do it, man.
man, that's one of those songs that you listen to at 3 a.m. in a room, in a dark room, and it sounds a lot different than it does on a normal night. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
If you're in that mood and you're listening, and I've listened to these
yeah,
albums at 3
yeah,
a.m. by myself,
yeah.
with a
There's something
candle
about.
on, and they're other world. It sounds like that's from a different country. Like it
And
sounds,
what's funny is that I think the train spotting kind of picked that up, and I think that's something we all kind of We realized it took you to another world and another feeling, and we didn't really. I didn't do junk
yeah.
or anything, so I didn't know that was like part of the fog that was,
And this reminded me these albums reminded me of that whole thing I talked about with Lou, with the you know with the gift, or not the gift, but Kicks.
Yeah,
That whole
right.
thing, or like, where in the hell is this going on, man? Is this in
Yeah,
Berlin? Is it in Romania, or what is it? It's like, this sounds like total European. It
yeah,
sounds like Iggy's from Eastern Europe. Like, I wouldn't know if I didn't know who it was. I'd be like, wow, these are really cool European singers, man.
yeah.
Uh,
It certainly doesn't sound like it's from here. That's for sure.
no, no, not at all, man. And the whole thing just has its own ambiance. Those albums.
Well, I'm going to stick with those albums too, man. While we're talking about those albums, how about Zeke? Oh man, how about Dum Dum Boys, man? Are you kidding?
Oh yeah, that was another one.
I mean, that there's something about the drama that, in a way, it's kind of pretentious in a way because he's kind of, in a way, he's kind of glamorizing himself. But
Yeah.
man, it's all about what it's. I just love that. I was most impressed. No one else was impressed, not at all. Don't that riff, don't know.
Uh,
I love it. That's great.
That is a great. That's another one that was hard to not make my list.
Yeah, Dum Dum Boys, number 6. That's another one right in the
Number
middle.
6, Dum Dum Boys.
Yep.
Now in my number 5, which I flip flopped with Sister Midnight at the last minute, they're close. From Lust for Life, it's The Passenger.
Great song, man.
And I've seen Iggy do it, and I've seen Susie Sue do it.
Yep.
She does a great. They did. I saw her and the Banshees do it, and it was fantastic.
Oh man, they
But
played song at Posers with her version of it, and the fucking dance floor you couldn't
you
get up.
couldn't get on it. Yeah, and
Everybody shit the dance floor. They loved that. They had a real good extended mix down there of that. I forget which one it was.
of The Passenger.
It
Yeah,
seemed like 15 minutes. It was great. I felt like
he.
Iggy into it too. They dropped some of his original recording in it, and then they dropped it out and stuff. It's cool.
That's a great mix. Yeah,
Right.
I mean, it's just it's a classic. Now, usually, I mean, and the great thing about it is some of these songs he's made a lot of money on commercials on,
Oh
which
my
is
God, huge. He's made a lot
that
of money.
that that, that I think was for one of the cruise lines, I believe,
Yeah.
had The Passenger. Just a couple of those lines. Yeah, they just do a couple lines, and it's him. And I'm like, thank God, man. I'm glad he can pay his mortgage.
Yeah. What's funny is he doesn't even have to sing. All you got to get's that riff. The
Just
damn
that riff, and you know what it is. Dun-dun-dun,
thing.
dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
And
Yeah,
people start bobbing their head. Yeah, it's got that cool, almost reggae. It's just got that Fort Scotch. It's nice, man. Caribbean. All right, man. You are number 5 with Passenger, and I'm going to still stay in the same ear. Of course, most of the good stuff's going to be under there. And we're going to say that I never gave up my license. They asked me for my license to live. I won't give it up. Some weird sin, man.
Some Weird Sin.
Some weird sin, man. That's what.
Absolutely
Oh,
fantastic. That's your number 5.
that's my number 5, man.
Wow, that's a fantastic song.
All these songs, man. I mean, you think
Now
about it.
you're getting really into the upper echelon right now.
Oh yeah,
The
and
5, the
he
last
sings,
5.
yeah, he sings that with Bowie together. They're both singing on
Yeah,
that.
they're gonna,
That's great.
So yeah, my 4
Number 4, bro.
from the Idiot is Fun Time.
Oh, fantastic. How can you be? My
All
God,
aboard. All aboard for Fun Time.
baby, we like your pants. I love it, man. There's what an attitude, man, in that song.
Getting in the car with Jimmy Osterberg. It's Fun Time.
Oh, no doubt about it. Yeah, yeah. Gonna get stoned and run around. It's
And
awesome.
you know he did.
You know,
He did. I mean, that's very autobiographical. It's Fun Time.
that's great. What a great pick, man. What a great song. It's number 4. Okay, man. I'm gonna go for my number 4. I'm gonna go a little bit more modern in time than that,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna go with the title track from the record that we were talking about before. James Williamson produced the song New Values. I'm looking for some new values. My way. Nothing comes my way. It's my number 4, man.
Your number 4 is New
Or and I
Values,
would
the title track.
honorable mention to 5'1" would have been in my top 20,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
been in my top 15.
So
But that's
New Values is your number 4.
title track and New Values.
The
Number
title track, which is a fantastic song.
That's my number.
So my number 3, Some Weird Sin
Oh boy,
from Lust for Life.
here we go. Here we go. That's right. What a song. What a weird lyric on that. You think
Oh
about
yeah, it's just
everybody feels
some
it, but
words,
said before.
and you don't know what it is. You have no
No,
idea.
could be anything from wanting to
Could
screw
be
up,
anything that he was involved in.
anything that either gets you going down below or up above. One way or the other. That's it. Okay, man. Well, we're gonna do some other repeat too, man. If that's your number 3 and you repeated my number 5, then what I'm gonna do is take your number 4 and repeat it for my number 3. It's gonna be fun, baby,
Fun,
baby.
fun,
You
fun
like
time is your number. Is
that's
your
my
number
is fun
3?
is fun time.
Wow. So you got it just, yeah. I mean, you knew they were all going to be grouped up there somewhere,
I
right?
did. I did. I did.
That's a
We got
great. It's just
to go, man.
fantastic.
What
Those
do we?
two albums, Idiot, Lust for Life. They're 1 and 1A
They
on
are,
any given day. You know,
they are,
they're
man.
they're they're the 1-2 punch. They always have been,
They are.
and they'll remain. As you can see with the later productions, they're never going to be surpassed. I don't think.
No.
I don't
I
think you could.
think they're trying to capture something that's a little different from this. I mean, I think his solo, you
Yeah,
can his solo work and kind of see a demarcation between that and the Stooges. And I think some of his later work tries to blend the two of it and muddies things up a little bit. I think it makes it
yeah.
too heavier than it needs to be.
Well, my number two, right? We're at two.
Yep.
New Values,
Oh
title
my
track.
God! See, you're right. We got the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
thing, man.
But nothing comes my way.
Nothing comes my way. Yeah, that's one he did on that Australian tour thing with that guy, that Australian, that Molly Meldrum, or whatever his name is, man. He
Uh,
really freaked him out. You should look at that Australian interview. Either New Zealand or Australia, one or the other. That's really funny. Okay, man, my number two.
uh,
I it may be going to be your number one, man. So I mean, neither of us have said it so far, and I just can't believe that neither of us have come up with "Sweet 16" in leather boots. Number 16, number two, man, 16. That's what a
wow.
great song.
It was hard to to leave that one by the wayside. Trust
Oh,
me.
you did? Wow. Oh, you did. Oh,
Yes.
God. There's another one too. Well, I know it's got to be then.
Yeah.
Then we may have a Una
So
strike.
that's your number two, right?
My number two, man.
16.
16
16 is amazing. I love that song.
and leather. But these are so good live too. It's really good on the live recordings. Also, it's excellent.
Oh,
All right, man.
it
We're
is.
ready.
It's great live. Okay, number one. The number one song.
Boom, boom.
First time I heard it, the guitar in it is
I got to
God,
feel.
it's just incendiary. And it just creates a mood. And it reminds me of I got a feeling this, it might be New York, but I think it's also Berlin. And he did a lot of this. Iggy did over many decades, and it is night clubbing.
Whoa, number one's night clubbing. Wow.
Yeah, that guitar blows my mind when it's just doo doo,
It
and
is
this
unbelievable.
bright white. Oh, isn't it wild? And then that guitar just comes in and just melts it, man.
Krautrock, man. It's almost krautrockish, just the way it.
And just
You're
I
right.
was like,
You're right, and I did not put that on mine. I can't believe that.
oh, night
Believe the
clubbing
one-
is it, man. That's it
I
for
can't
me.
believe the one that I have uh, for number one. You didn't have either, so I must be Captain Obvious here. But my
What's
number
that?
one is going to be "Lust for Life." That's number one. I put
Oh yeah.
the song. Maybe I'm being Captain Obvious here, but I love that drum beat. I'm a drummer, and I always that drum beat. I thought that Hunt Sales drum beat, that dong 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 dong.
Yeah, it's a
It-
lively tune, man.
So
But
that's my.
I like the ambiance of night clubbing.
I, I'm envious. I wish I would have picked night clubbing. Now you're correct. Night clubbing, you're deaf. You can feel, you can see the darkness, man. You can hear the
oh,
darkness.
isn't it wild? I
It is.
mean, it's like, oh, isn't it wild? Like, I don't know where the hell you are, Iggy, but I'm sure if you're
Yep.
out night clubbing, it is wild wherever it is.
Yeah.
Berlin, New York, Los
He brings
Angeles.
it out with him, man. That's what. That's probably why.
Oh my God, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
love
that's
that.
great. Yeah. So that's a great. We end up with two number ones. That's great. One. So yeah, man.
I
Anything?
thought we were both going to be. I thought we were both going to be heading that way at one.
Yeah, me too. I'm surprised a couple that my number one or two you didn't have, and I didn't have. I didn't have your number one either, which is surprising. I mean, I now I
Yeah.
wish I did now. I
And
have a
it was
pass.
hard for me to leave Lust for Life off, but
Yeah, I should have had passenger too. I mean, I'm looking at this, and
yeah,
I guess I could have got rid of the last one or two, but yeah, man, I had to have that sicko uh, get up and get out. I had to put that
yeah,
in there. That's
yeah.
just the weird things that pokes you in the head or something. But
Uh,
anyway, yeah, man. But I mean, I think great band, great guy to see live. I haven't seen any things lately, but I know in the times, other
well,
than
actually, the last time I saw him solo was probably that '90 show for Brick by Brick
yeah,
'91 in Berkeley. but I did see the Stooges.
That's what you're saying. You saw
You
them at
know,
night.
I saw that Stooges reunion. That was early 2000s.
Yeah,
So that's probably the last time I saw the Egg, I would
pretty
say.
good, man. Pretty good, brother.
So
Well, anyway, thanks everybody for tuning into this. It's been fun to go through this stuff. Please leave your list and your comments below.
absolutely.
You can help us out by hitting the like button and subscribing. And we always appreciate you being here on the ride with us. And we will be back at you with a lot of more fun stuff. We've got a lot more stuff planned. So you're going to be seeing a lot more of Dino. We've got a lot more bigger projects coming. And
We're headed to the West Coast
there
next, I
you go.
think.
Right.
We're going to be we're going to be migrating out to the West Coast for a whole different headset, a whole different things going on with
That's great.
the
Yeah,
next
that's great.
singer songwriter that we tackle.
You got it, brother. You got it,
Yep.
brother. So we will see you guys next time, and I always appreciate you. Thanks. We'll see you next time.
Absolutely. See ya.